I had this bananas dream, and I was told to share it. And it's about two witches, right? Not demons, not different entities that you have to fight in the spirit realm, specifically witches, right? And I learned a lot. I got a lot of revelations from this dream. I was told to share the dream with you guys, but I must warn you, this dream is kind of long, okay? So sit back, relax, listen to what went down in this dream. And I want you to know, you are way more powerful spiritually than you think. You have so much that you can do to send things packing and running scared that you have no idea about. But baby, let me tell you, I'm about to break it down. And hopefully by the time I finish breaking this down, you will feel exactly how I felt when I woke up from this dream. I mean, I thought I was just like, I might as well have a sword, okay? Because the way I felt when I woke up, I felt like I could take over the whole world. So sit back, listen to this dream, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain the revelations that I got from it. So you're at this event space, and the event space is so big that it doubled as an event space, and then the other part was a hotel. So you checked into the hotel, you went to your room, the room was nice and normal, you left your bags, and then you went down to enjoy the festivities. Now, festivities are over, you get on the elevator, and you're about to go back up to your room to enjoy your nice, quiet evening. Now, when you get on the elevator, there's an elevator man. He's like, all right, you can go ahead and pull out your card. And you thinking, pull out what card? Oh, my hotel card? And he's like, no, your debit card or your credit card. That's when he informs you it costs money to take the elevator up. And so you was a little confused, but you're like, okay, whatever. So you pull out your debit card and you figure, I'm just going to the 3rd floor, so it shouldn't be that much. Well, when you went to tap your card, all of a sudden it was a glitch in the card reader. And your bill, first of all, it was $53 to go from the lobby to the 3rd floor, which was ridiculous. But the glitch turned it to $53,000, and they charged your card. So you was really upset about that, but it was nothing you could do. So you started telling people like, hey, they charged me this amount. And somebody was like, well, next time, take the stairs. So you was so irritated. You like, you know what? I'm just going to my room and I'm going to go to bed. Now, when you walk into your room, the room is rearranged. And you're trying to figure out who came in my room. The bed was on the other side. The dresser was on the other side. And you're trying to remember, did I move it? And you got really confused because for whatever reason, all of a sudden you had a memory of rearranging the furniture, even though you didn't go back to the room. So you were really upset about that. And so you're like, okay, whatever. Let me just eat some food so, you know, I can calm down. And then later on, I'm going to go to bed. Suddenly, the room turned into another event space. And all of these people who did not pay to sleep in your room came into your room. And as you looked around, all of a sudden people start bringing in tables. People was bringing in their own food, and they brought in their own food, and you couldn't even find your food. So you're looking around like, who took my food? So you find the container that your food was in, but by the time you walk up to it, somebody had already started enjoying your food. And all they left was a bunch of chicken bones and all the vegetables that they didn't eat. And so you were really upset about that. So you thinking, man, the computer glitch charging me $53,000. Somebody came in and rearranged all this furniture. All of these people are having an event. And guess who got the bill? You. So fast forward, you check out of the hotel, and now you're with people that you know. You guys are in a car, and it's nighttime. You're driving down the street. There's the driver, you're in the passenger's side, and then there's one other passenger sitting in the back seat behind you. Now you look up to the sky and you see this purple smoke going across the sky. And that's when you notice that there is a witch on a broom. So the witch begins to fly down, and she makes it to the car and bumps into it. And it's a huge thud, this loud sound, and the car shakes. So the driver's like, whoa, what was that? All of a sudden, the witch is at the driver's side window talking to the driver. She is saying all kind of mean things and all kind of bad stuff that she wants to happen. And you look at the witch and you start to rebuke and check the witch. Now, as you're telling the witch off, the witch looks at you like, oh, so you want this smoke. Okay. So the witch comes around to the passenger side window and the witch starts to yell and talk to you. But you start to rebuke the witch. You telling the witch go somewhere, and the witch flies off. Now, the person who was in the driver's seat, they're looking at you like, whoa, I like that. Okay. And you was like, yeah, man, I had to rebuke that witch and send her on her way. And that's when the driver said, what witch? And you like, what you mean? You didn't, the witch who was just at the, you didn't see? And they like, no, I didn't see nothing. And you like, but you felt the impact. You felt the car shake, right? And they was like, yeah. And you was like, yeah, that was the witch. And they didn't know what you were talking about. But you just kept riding in the car like, okay, that's really interesting. Next thing you know, you see this purple smoke in the sky again. This time, coming from the other side, you see some blue smoke. You see, when you sent the witch on her way, she went back and got her little friend. And it was a male witch, a warlock. So those two were flying through the sky on their brooms and they joined forces. And when they did, the purple smoke and the blue smoke created this really thick, dark smoke. And they both started to fly down to the car. They didn't waste no time with the driver. They came specifically to you. Now, since you already rebuked that purple witch, she couldn't say anything else. So only the blue witch, the warlock, could talk to you. So when he came down, he got right by your window. He started saying all kind of stuff. Misfortune, failure. And he just kept going in with all these low vibrational things that he wanted to happen. And you started rebuking him. You was like, rebuke, I rebuke you, reverse, return to sender. And you start going off. Now, when you started going off on him, he got shook. And he looking at the purple witch like, oh, you didn't tell me this was a prayer warrior. So he started getting real salty. And every time you rebuked him, his voice got lower and lower and lower to the point where he couldn't even talk anymore. So he turned and he started to walk away. So you guys are driving, you get to a gas station and you like, okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get some snacks since somebody ate my food, right? Boom. That's when it hit you. The glitch that charged you $53,000, that was that witch. The person who came in and rearranged the furniture, that was them witches. The simple fact that you had a thought implanted into your mind that gave you a memory of moving the furniture, even though you didn't move the furniture, that was them witches. The person who came and took your food, that was them witches. The person who allowed for all of them people to come in and have festivities in your room and give you the bill, it was them witches. So while you were standing in the gas station, all of this is hitting you and you got so mad. Now remember, you rebuked them, and when you rebuked them, they basically lost their voices. They couldn't say anything else to you, but they could still follow you in a form of harassment. So you got so mad, like you started looking for them. So you found the blue witch, the male witch, the warlock. You saw him and you like, I'm going to tell him, boy, I'm going to tell him off. So you walk up to him and you start rebuking him, you checking him, but then you was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus and I command you to leave me alone. And you told him, and if you don't, I personally am going to send you to hell. Whoosh, he disappeared. He was already salty. He already couldn't talk. He already just wanted to follow you around and mess with you. But once you rebuked him, he disappeared. So you start looking for the purple witch, the female witch. You find her, she's sitting on this display of pops and she's salty. She don't even want to look at you because you already took her voice. But you start rebuking her too, and you told her the same thing. I command you in the name of Jesus, leave me alone. Whoosh, she disappears, right? So you get to walking away and you're like, oh, wait, I forgot to tell her I'm finna send her to hell. So you run back over there, but she was already gone. She had already disappeared. So you was like, well, wherever you are, if you mess with me again, I'm sending you to hell. And then that's when you remembered nobody could see these witches but you. So you talking to the case of pop, and then you realize, oh, I look a little crazy. Okay, well, as long as you know, okay. So she was gone. Suddenly, half the lights in the gas station went off, and it was this sound, whoosh. Half the lights went off. And you noticed that it was this little plate, this little ceramic plate with gold angel wings, okay? 2 wings. One of them was big and one of them was small. And when the lights went out, they turned blue, but then the lights came back on and they were gold. And that's when it hit you, oh, when I rebuked them in Jesus' name, 2 angels came and snatched them up, and that's why they disappeared. And boom, you knew, okay, with them gone, I'm probably going to have a little bit more success in the things that I'm trying to do. Y'all, that dream felt so powerful, right? But I kid you not, it did not just stop there. It's like I had a dream, but then I woke up and like the dream followed me into my reality, because I was just minding my own business, and then I saw this. Now, let me insert the picture so you guys can get a better look. Do you guys see the purple smoke and then the blue smoke, and then how they come together like that? That was like my confirmation. Yes, you slayed them witches. And then I was told, make this video, okay? You guys have to know that there are some things that have been assigned to you. And not only were they assigned to you, they have been things that have been assigned to your bloodline long before you got here, okay? So you are where it stops. These entities, these demons, these witches, these warlocks, they have no idea who they messing with, but they're gonna learn today. So we're gonna jump into some messages so that I can break down different parts of this dream. And we're going to start here, and of course we're going to take it over to Patreon to get even deeper into the revelations. But y'all stick around, because this is going to get very, very interesting, okay? God needs you to know what type of power you actually hold, so that when things happen, when things seem strange, when you can't figure it out, when you're trying to figure out what's going on, you'll know what's going on and you'll know how to deal with it immediately, okay? So take a look at the screen, and right here you're going to be choosing your witch. Choose which witch you about to slay, okay? I'll see y'all in the messages. All right, so if you chose number 1, we're going to be starting off at the event space / hotel, specifically on the elevator, okay? I'm going to need for you guys to know that maybe there was something that was recently sent, or maybe this is something that has been attacking your bloodline for a long time. You'll know, but it has something to do with attacking your money, okay? Attacking your finances. Because remember, on this elevator, you had to use your debit card, your credit card, in order to pay to go up. It's almost as if whatever was assigned to you that you're about to slay right on up out of there, it's like it wants you to pay to move up in life. It wants you to pay. It's like, oh, you think you're going to advance? You think you're going to the top? You think you're going upward? Oh, no. And if you do so happen to go upward, there's all of this extra stuff that makes it not even worth it. Makes you upset. It's like, yeah, you're going to work real hard to rise to the top, but we're going to make sure that you feel some type of way about it. Like these entities or these witches, they don't want you to enjoy it. Now, another thing that I got for this is that for some of you guys, this is like maybe even people in your real life, like maybe not even in the spirit realm. Maybe it's something that entities use or get into to make these things happen. What does this look like in real life? The other day, I went through a drive-through, and they have it where you can round up your money to donate it. Well, I love to give. I love to donate, but I don't like for people to take my money without asking me. So even though it wasn't that much money, I went through the drive-through. They immediately automatically rounded it up and took the rest of the money. And when I looked at it, I'm like, it says donation. I'm like, I didn't make no donation. So I'm like, no, you didn't ask me. I didn't volunteer. I would have gave it if you would have asked me, but you just going to charge my card and take my money anyway? I want my money back. So they had to go into the register, and they knew what they did. They knew that they didn't ask. They knew they took that money without permission. And so they had to go ahead and they had to refund me that money back. And this is what I'm talking about. How with this dream, there was that machine and it had a glitch. It had a glitch and it took it from $53 to $53,000. There is something in the spirit realm that has been sent to attack your finances so that you have to pay extra. You have to do more. You have to go the extra mile. You got to go above and beyond and do backflips and jump through fire hoops to get something that's regular. You want to get on the elevator and go from the lobby to the third floor. That should cost nothing, especially if you already paid to be at the event and the hotel. But no, not the way these entities are set up, not the way these witches are set up. They want to drain your account. They want to drain your finances. They want to take from you without permission. They whisper into people's ear in the physical and have them do things illegally. They have people to, oh, you know what? Just go ahead and take a picture of their credit card, and you go ahead and you just use their credit card to order something online. And next thing you know, you get your bank statements and you're like, when did I order $300 worth of Amazon? You know, and these things are sent to attack sneaky, right? So that you can't really dispute it. Like when the card went to $53,000 and you explain it to the elevator man, dude, how does that even make sense? $53,000 just to go to the next level, a few levels up. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that serious. So for some of you guys, you may have been, and I keep getting the word mischief, like they're little tricksters in the spirit realm and they cause all kind of mischief. And then what happens is you call the places, hey, I didn't order this or I didn't do that. Or you call your bank and you're trying to dispute it and they're like, well, we see the authorization, so it's really nothing we can do, you know. And then you get frustrated, you on the phone arguing with the bank people, and this is all draining. It's emotionally draining, it's mentally draining, it's physically draining, it's financially draining. And that's exactly what they want. And I even, you know, how witches laugh and they be like, like you literally can almost hear it in the spirit realm. So the next time something like this happens, you're being told, keep your cool, because you will find out. And when you find out, it's on. The thing about this part of the dream is that they weren't exposed yet. So for some of you guys, maybe, you know, this is the first time you're hearing about this type of things in the spirit realm. Or maybe, you know, you're about to catch the revelation in some other type of way, but you're about to be put on notice that the reason that finances was doing funny things, or people had access to your bank card and you didn't know why, or all of a sudden you was charged extra for something that should not have been charged. This is those witches, right? Those entities. So I command you to take your hands off of my audience money and let them go, right? And these are the things you're going to have to start shouting out and start telling them. Start speaking out loud, telling them, let your money go. Let your finances go. Get off my bank. Get off my cards. Get off my finances, okay? So if you chose number one, I want to say congratulations, because these witches, these tricksters have been exposed. And now you know what you're dealing with. And now that you know what you're dealing with, you can call them out, you can rebuke them, and you can send them on their way. All right? So that's what I get for number one. Let's get to the next one. All right, so if you chose number two, you got the room. Now, in this part of the dream, you walk into the room, and the room has been rearranged. And you looking around like, wait a minute, how did this happen? The first thing that is revealed is that these witches, right, they are tricksters. Have you ever put something down and no, I put it down right here, and then you go away and then you come back to the exact spot, nobody else was around, but then all of a sudden it's missing. And then you like, wait a minute, and then suddenly it's back in the position. These things, for whatever reason, have the ability to be tricksters, to play tricks right in your face. But that's not all about number 2, because this is the part where other people get to be in your space. Other people invading like your privacy, looking into your room or coming into what you already established as yours. Okay, you paid your money, you paid to be in that room. So these other people who you didn't even know felt like they had the right to be in your space. Okay, there's a sense of entitlement. So these witches, for whatever reason or however they do it, they're able to convince other people that your space and your privacy does not matter. So they will invade your space. Not only did they invade your space and your privacy, they took your food. Now you didn't pay for this food. You was imagining this food, eating it while you was at the festivities. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to my room. I'm gonna enjoy that. And the things that you were meant to enjoy, it's like somebody else gets their hands on it first, and they leave you the scraps. They leave you the leftovers. They leave you what they didn't want. Okay, so now, like, your mind should be open right now to the fact that these witches, whether they are witches in real life who are actually casting spells and doing work, or whether this is just things that happen in the spirit realm and there are witches in the spirit realm who are orchestrating these things to happen in your reality, now you know. Okay, so moving things around, you got to pray and guard against that. People invading your privacy, you have to pray and guard against that. People feeling entitled to your space, people feeling entitled to what you have already purchased, to your food, to your house, to your lifestyle, to everything, okay? There's a sense of entitlement that these witches give people so that they lose respect for what you have, or that they just don't respect your space, your privacy, your food. Okay, this is something that's happening in the spirit realm. It's not just, oh, by chance, oh, that person just took my stuff and didn't even care. It's not just coincidental. It's spiritual. Something in the spirit realm tapped into that person and made them feel, go and take her food. Go and invade their privacy. It don't matter. Okay, this is something that you need to pray for. This is something, or whatever entity, witch, warlock, that you need to go ahead and slay. And the reason why you're seeing this video today is because you need to know you have that power. Okay, they do not have the right to invade your space, to invade your privacy, to take your things, to switch around what you had going on. Okay, the little trickster energy. You have the power to rebuke those things. You have the power to rebuke the invasions and all that kind of stuff. In fact, this is more like people, you know how it goes. Sometimes people may get a tarot reading on you. Somebody may, go ask somebody your business, and then the other person just goes ahead and tells them your business. Like, all of these type of things are things that you can pray against because they do not have the right. But until you open your mouth and rebuke them and tell them, I command you to give me my privacy, I command you to stay out of my stuff, they feel like they just gonna trample all on it, right? Just like in real life, if you left your door open and your neighbor's like, oh, your door was open, so I just came in and sat on your couch and started watching your TV. Now, if you never said anything, they're gonna do that every day. But the second you say, hey, you better stop coming in my house, I don't care if my door is open, I'm getting some fresh air. That's not an invitation for you to come in. You have to rebuke them. You have to tell them. You have to lay down the law, and then they must comply. They must obey. But if you don't tell them that, then they're going to keep doing it. But if you don't know that that's what's happening, you don't know to tell them to stop. And this is why these things happen, okay? So I hope that you guys understand what I'm saying today. Start calling out those things and telling them, I command you to leave me alone, okay? So that's what I get for number 2. Let's go ahead and get to number 3. All right, so if you chose number 3, we in the car, okay? So there was a series of misfortunes that happened at this hotel event space. The card glitched and you had to pay $53,000, right? You went to the room was rearranged, somebody took your food, all of these people are now in your room, they're having a party in your room, and you got stuck with the bill, okay? So number 3, we're in the car. You're driving down the street. There's a driver and then there's another passenger who's sitting in the back seat. Now, the person who is the driver, as well as the person in the back, these are family members. The person who is in the driver's seat represents the generation before you, right? The person behind you represents the generation coming after you, okay? So it's 3 generations sitting in the car. For some of you guys, you need to know right now that there have been witches specifically assigned to your bloodline, okay? It's a generational thing. So it started off, that first witch, the purple witch, started off in the driver's seat. That purple witch was at that person's window, right? So that's that generation before you. And it was shouting to the person all of these bad things that they wanted to happen, all of this misfortune that they wanted it to go through. But the person could not see it. You have been given the spiritual advancement of seeing in the spirit realm what some people in the generation before you could not see. Okay? And again, like I was telling with number 2, if you don't see it, if you don't know what's happening, you can't rebuke it. You can't tell it to stop. So the generation before you may not have been able to rebuke this thing. But then here you come. Here comes this part of the bloodline. And they like, oh, okay, well, I've done everything that I can do to that part, so let me come around and start attacking you. And this thing thought it was going to attack you the way that it's been attacking the bloodline since before you. Little did this thing know that you not only knew about it, you could see it, but you had the power to silence it and send it on its way. Okay, so that's exactly what you did. Now, the significance of this is that when you rebuked that witch and she lost her voice, that means she can't go to the passenger sitting behind you, which is the next generation. You shut the witch down before it had the opportunity to get to any other people in your bloodline. It stops with you. These witches thought they was going to be able to carry on this mischief, this trickster energy for generation after generation after generation after generation, but little did it know that you had that type of power. Remember, you was rebuking it, you was telling it reverse, and you was telling it you can't have me. You was saying all kind of stuff. And the witch did not know. The witch was caught off guard. The witch was shook. And the witch was super, super salty that you took her voice. She could no longer say these things and put them into your vortex, right? She couldn't say anything to make it seep into your subconscious mind so that you start manifesting all of this misfortune and manifesting all of these things and you don't know why, right? And so this is the part where, you know, the other generation looks at you and is like, ooh, okay, you a prayer warrior. Okay, I like that. And you were caught off guard because you didn't know they couldn't see it. You didn't know, wait a minute. So I got a gift. I got the gift to see in the spirit realm. So you and this part of your generation has been given a special gift to break these curses, these generational curses, to cut off these witches from being able to attack your bloodline and to save the rest of the generations that are going to come after you, okay? Now, remember, when the witch was in the air, it was this purple smoke, and then they come riding down on the broom, right? And they hit the car. The driver felt the impact, but they did not see the witch. That's important because in life, they may have felt the misfortune. They may have felt the generational curses. They may have felt things happening, but they could not see where they were coming from. They did not have the spiritual advantage that you have to know this is a witch and I need to rebuke it and send it on back. Right? So this is why you are so important to your bloodline. Because remember, it came around, it tried you, but it didn't think you could see it. It didn't know not only you could see it, but you can rebuke it and send it on back. You had that much power, okay? Not only that, again, it can't get to the rest of the bloodline. You cut it off and now it has to go. But do you think that just because that thing lost its voice doesn't mean it wasn't going to try? Oh, no. Because what you got to know now is that even when you rebuke something, it's just going to go back and get its little friends. Okay? So that's where we're going to pick it up on Patreon. But for number 3, just to recap, you are the generational curse breaker because you have that spiritual advantage to see and call out things that maybe other people did not even know was there. They felt the impact. They knew it was something. They just couldn't quite put their finger on it. But you not only put your finger on it, you put your mouth on it, and you made that thing shut up, okay? And you stopped it from attacking anything else that comes after you, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, okay. I'm amped up. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm pretty amped up. This was one of those dreams that just made me wake straight up like, whoa. Like I felt like super, super powerful, right? And this was God's special way of letting us know we got that power. We are those people. We are, in fact, that generation that will slay these witches, okay? So we are going to continue on. We got to talk about this warlock, this blue witch, okay? Because remember, she lost her voice. You shut her down, and she was like, oh, I just got shut down. So she went back to the sky, and she got her little friend. So that's when we're going to pick it up on YouTube. Then remember, you had the gas station, okay? These entities were following you. And there's a lot of special revelations that go into that as well, okay? And remember, them angel wings showed up. Very, very significant, okay? So we're going to pick this up over on Patreon. If this is where it ends for you, thank you so much. I hope you guys were able to understand what I'm saying and understand the type of power and spiritual advantage that you have right now, okay? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and this is where it ends for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and everybody else, I'll see y'all on Patreon.